Hello, and welcome to Silicon Valley Girls That Love to Chat Over Tea. I'm Gloria,
And I'm Rosetta.
and it's wonderful for you to join us today.
Yes, hi everyone. Thanks for tuning in to our chats. And this week, what are we drinking for our tea?
We are drinking a new tea.
Let's see what it's called. Where is the name?
That's the name.
It's called Pure Power Slim,
Ginger Peach Tea.
made with organic tea.
Yes,
And it is boosts energy and metabolism,
we all need that.
aid in digestion, and rich in antioxidants. So
Yes.
we're going to try that. Okay,
Yes.
let's try this.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, it's actually not too bad.
No,
It's not that bitter and it's not too overpowering.
no.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a ginger peach. You actually get a lot of the ginger. I thought it would be, sometimes you get a tea and it says ginger peach, but you get peachy. This is actually ginger peach.
And it says here our tea is a natural source of antioxidants.
Yes.
So we like that. If
Yes, we
anybody
do.
knows what antioxidants are, they neutralize all the toxins in our body to have healthy bodies.
And that is something very important to us.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so I thought today we would kick it off with a little conversation about music. This morning, I was watching Good Morning America, and they were talking about Katy Perry and her team have, I don't want to say the word indicted, allegedly there is some copyright infringements. She has a song called Dark Horse.
Say that.
That's right. And there is another group that did a song that was a Christian rap song. And what they did is they played these songs. And, to me, I like music, but sometimes it all sounds alike. It's like I will hear a song and I'll go, oh my God, that's really nice. And my husband, who's a DJ, he'll go, oh, that's blah, blah, blah. That's old school. And I go, really? And then he'll find the music and he'll play it for me. So how do you know that something is new and authentic when there's so much music in the world? How do you know?
You don't. Look at all the music that's been, well, I guess when it's sampled, you can tell, right? When they
Right.
sample in their music and then they just make up one song
Right.
from all the samplings.
Right.
But that Dark Horse was 2013, right?
Yeah, I think that's when that was. And apparently the Christian rap song, and see, another distinction is, okay, so it's a Christian rap song. So it was probably only heard by a certain number of people, whereas Katy Perry, her music was heard by a lot more people.
Right.
You
So
know?
how did they even know that was something that should be looked into? I mean, what did they say in Good Morning America, how they found out?
Oh, well, as you can imagine, someone that was a part of the original Christian rap song heard the beats of Katy Perry's song and they thought, wow. And then what they did was really, really interesting, is they took the two songs and they overlapped them and played them at the same time.
And it was very, very similar.
It was, you couldn't tell the distinction of the beats were the same. So that's like, okay, I love Marvin Gaye. Love Marvin Gaye. I had the pleasure of seeing him the Sunday night before he was, my brain says, accidentally killed by his dad, because I would hope that if his father had been in his right mind, he wouldn't have shot his son. So we used to have a place up in the Raywood City called Circus Star, and I was there and I got to see him.
Wow.
Now he had a song called Got to Give It Up, and the beat and the tempo, I mean, I love that song. And then Robin Thicke and Pharrell came out with Blurred Lines. Now to me they sound sort of the same, but not 100%. However, the Gaye family sued Robin Thicke and Pharrell and got $5 million.
I remember that when that was happening.
Yeah. I mean, so it's just very, very interesting how can you be original? How can you be the one and only?
Yeah, and that reminds me of the other song, Kelly Clarkson.
Yes.
She sang, what was that song she sung?
Kelly Clarkson did Already Gone.
Already Gone, and they said that it sounded very, very similar to Beyonce's Halo.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Kelly's CD album dropped, was out to press before Beyonce's song went out to press. And so, you know, I know they work on music for years sometime. So, you know, you're out and about, you could hear a little catchy tune, and then you take that little catchy tune and you build on it. And I don't think anybody, you know, obtrusively goes out to, you know, I'm gonna just copy this person.
Right.
I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna take credit for their music, for their tempo, for everything. I don't think that's how it happens. I think people just make music, but it really makes you stop and think about, you know, when you do, especially collaborations, when you have, you know, like Pharrell and Robin Thicke. I'm sure, because if you've ever seen the people in the music studios, like they'll do amen, amen, amen. And then they'll say to them, slow down the A part, pump on the men. And then they'll go, amen. You know, so they do lots of things with those big boards and they're pushing buttons. And it's like, how do you?
And then it ends up, someone says it sounds similar to something else.
Yes. So, you know, it's very difficult to figure it out. However, I love music. I'm always interested to see how things turn out. And so I also was very, very interested to hear this morning that Little Nas and Billy Ray Cyrus, they have a duet song that's called Old Town Road. And it has been on the top of the charts. I think it was either 16 weeks or 17
Been
weeks.
there a long time.
And
Yep.
Mariah Carey reached out to Little Nas and say, I passed the baton because it surpassed one of her songs. And I think, now see, this is really cool. This young man, you know, no, he's not your typical looking country guy. However, that song resonated with him. He was a young man that was living at home, going to college. He told his parents, I don't want to do this anymore. And, you know, like most parents, it's like, you going to school or you're going to get out. So he had to leave his parents' home. He moved in with his sister. He kept, you know, working on this music. It was something that he was driven by. They said that he used to only get 3 hours of sleep a night. And all of a sudden, one night, he was working on his song, and he said, can't nobody tell me nothing. And that becomes like the bridge or the part of the song that really hooked Old Town Road.
Yeah, that is the hook. That's a really,
and so once,
you can identify
yeah,
that,
and then once he added that in, you know, and they started playing it, and, you know, I always tell you, I believe God has plans for all of us, your higher source, whatever, whomever that is for you. For me, it's God. And if someone had told his parents, you know, let him go to school. He doesn't have to go to school during the day. Let him go to night school and let him do his music. You know, support him. However, as parents, we're always trying to make sure our children can stand on their own feet and that they can take care of themselves. And so, you know, it's a hard place to be, because I know I would have been the same way. It's like, no, you're going to school. I know you don't want to go to school. However, one day, because I used to always tell my son, okay, so you have dreams and aspiration. How are you going to know if someone's stealing you blind? What do you mean, Mama? And I said, how are you going to know? Education. Because when you have education, then you know what to do.
education is power.
Yes.
That's what I always say.
And Little Nas, just to give you a little insight, like we're talking about how people hear different things and they do different things. Little Nas bought the beat of the music of the song from Young Keo for $30. $30. So he was a very wise young man. That's a wise investment.
Yes, it is. And now look at him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who would have known?
Yeah. And on that subject, talking about kids and everything.
Yes.
So Gloria was telling me, and I didn't hear about this, but it's quite, you know, it's up in the air. But she's telling me that affluent families in Chicago
Mm-hmm.
are emancipating their sophomore age high schoolers so that they can get into college, right? Is that correct?
Right. I mean, we all know that education is just ridiculous right now. The price. I mean, I was able to go to like De Anza College. There were universities that you could go to, and you might pay $150 for a book and tuition, and nowadays it's thousands. So apparently what they've uncovered is some families have been emancipating their children so that they can qualify for like low income assistance,
housing, and with the books and things
so
like that.
my thing is, where are you gonna who would you trust enough to emancipate your child?
Yeah, and my question is, in order to emancipate in court, don't you have to give a reason why you're emancipating?
I would,
because
I would hope.
because the judge has to decide if this is the right thing to do,
right,
for the child and the parents.
Yeah.
Why are you emancipating your child? What reason is it that they're doing this? And I remember back in the days in the 80s, Tiffany, she decided she wanted to get emancipated from her family because she wanted to keep, track of her own money and handle her own finances.
Right.
And that was why she was able to get emancipated. But I'm just wondering how these parents of these affluent families in Chicago are able to do that. What reason are they giving?
And this is at the very beginning of the investigation, and apparently on Good Morning America, they were saying that they weren't even looking to uncover anything. They were just doing a little, high level investigation about, the price of education. I mean, and how it has just gotten ridiculous in the United States right now.
These rich families are finding ways to do it.
Yeah.
First it was paying off the schools. Now it's like emancipation. What next?
I don't know. I think that people need to understand, that good old little principle, cause and effect. And all of this, as it evolves around, is all going to come back.
Yep.
And, okay, I can't think of her name. One of the ladies that was part of the big scandal, and she's the one that was on the Hallmark Channel.
Oh, Hillary something, wasn't it? Or was it Felicity?
Well, no, Felicity said, I take responsibility. The one that didn't take responsibilities, she was signing autographs as she was going in, and she had two girls. One of her daughters was like a social media star, and she had just been given her own makeup line. I mean, this child had no intention of ever going to college. And she even said on video once, I got into blah, blah, blah school as if I'm ever going to go to class.
Right.
So why are you trying to drag your child, kicking and screaming, to something they don't want to do? What about the concept of loving them and supporting them and helping them be the best that they can be at whatever level they want to be? Everybody doesn't want to be the mayor, the governor.
I don't know. Sometimes I think parents live through their child.
Yeah.
Whatever they feel that it's a great thing for your child to do this or that career because maybe the parent thinks it's a good idea. So they put that onto the child. But anyway, I want to quickly say, I've been staring at Gloria real quick. Yeah. And how lovely, look, I don't know if you can see this in the video, but I just realized, look at her lipstick. It's purple, shimmery purple lipstick.
Matches my
match the eyes.
Yes, it's called Illuminata.
I love that. I might try that. I wonder if it's going to look the same on me. It's shimmery and it stands out. Yes. I mean, I just can't help looking at that. You're talking, I'm like staring.
I know, she's not. Yes.
I know.
No, we're
so I just wanted to point that out.
Yes.
And this is Gloria's own lipstick, right?
Yes.
She makes her own lipstick and made her makeup.
Stones, Nurturing Natural. This is us. Yes. So let's move on to something juicy. Hannah, the Bachelorette.
Bachelorette, woohoo!
I don't watch it that much, however, my girl next door here does.
Well, I don't really watch it, but this season,
she likes
this season I had to watch it because of Hannah. And the only reason I watched it is because I could not stand her in The Bachelor.
Right.
And I thought she was really fake.
Right.
But then I thought, okay, someone posted on their Facebook page, she's not as bad as she seems. I said, okay, let's give it a shot. And then when they did the first episode on her and her background and why she decided to do it, I thought this lady is really genuine.
Right.
She's authentic and genuine. And I said, let me just check it out
Yeah,
to see.
let's
The first
see.
couple of episodes, I'm going to check it out and let's see.
Right.
And as the episodes kept going, I kept thinking, wow, I really like this Hannah lady who I could not stand before in The Bachelor with Nick. Was it Nick? I forget which guy it was, but I thought she was so fake. But yeah,
and
yesterday was...
I remember a lot of the girls in the Bachelor that she was on didn't like her.
They didn't like her, yeah.
They did not like her.
They did not like her, and I didn't either, but she was different, completely different in The Bachelorette.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I watched it yesterday, and I told people the first episode when all the guys come out of the limo,
Right.
who I liked. I liked Pilot Pete.
Yes.
That's who I liked.
Yes.
And I had my eye set on Pilot Pete
Yes.
because he just seemed really, really nice. He's cute,
Yeah.
plus nice. And what I really liked about him throughout the episode was that he was really authentic. There was a lot of issues with Luke P, with the other guys, all
Lord,
this
Luke P.
like whatever arguments and whatever they struck up and just arguing back and forth. And through this whole time, which I really love, was that Pilot Pete never once got into all this drama.
Really?
He kept to himself, and he was just like, no, I don't need to get into this drama. I need to concentrate on myself and Hannah. And
that's what you should. Yeah.
And I got very upset when she did not choose him.
I mean, and it was very, in preparation for our talk, I always kind of skim to see what's going on. And the thing that I noticed is when the other guy that she did send home, the last one before
Taylor.
I mean, she seemed to really like him. I mean, every time you turned around, she was knocking on the door and going into his place and jumping him. So
jumping him.
Well, they. I don't mean like sexually. They were just, she was very touchy. She was very attentive to him, and so I'm like, well, what would make you think that you should just turn around and pick the other guy because he can sing? And then my understanding is that just blew all up. And a friend of mine sent me a text message, and she watches it, and she said that when they did the hometown visits and Hannah went home with him, his family told her, we don't think he's ready.
Yeah, this is Jed's family.
Yeah. And now everybody knows why they said that, because he had a girlfriend at home.
Because they knew something that she didn't.
That's
and they
right.
should have just said it out to her.
Yes.
They should have been honest and upfront and just said something to her.
Yes.
Because that was kind of, I think they should have said something.
Yeah.
I don't think they should have held back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Luke P guy, how many terrific guys did she send home because she could not believe that what they were saying was true? She's like, my gut says to me he's a good man, and I'm like, your gut is wrong.
Well, she just wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yes, she did.
She didn't want to play into everyone's hearsay and what they were talking about. When you're in that situation, you kind of, I kind of imagine myself in that situation. It's hard because you don't know who to believe, what to believe. You have to go with your own gut instinct and trust yourself.
Yes.
And that's what she did. And she found out sooner or later.
Oh, and once she found out and she sent him home, and she's getting ready to do a rose ceremony, and then he comes back and she's like, what are you doing here? I sent you home.
She picks up the whole pedestal of
And
roses and walks and moves it in front of
God.
him. Yeah.
I thought, okay. So to me, that was, like you said, that was showing some of the authentic part of her, because there's a lot of times where people, you think that you know someone, however, you really don't.
You don't. And that's coming back to what happened on the finale of The Bachelor, when she found out about Jed and he had been dating someone else, and that someone that he had been dating had a different story than what he had. She said that he had told her that he loved her. So obviously, she thought differently and he thought differently.
Right.
But something that I'm not happy with is the fact that Taylor came back
Yes.
yesterday and was talking to Hannah on stage,
right?
and
she's like, I'm a single girl,
and I still have feelings are still there,
right?
so she asked him on a date for drinks. Now, if I'm the guy, I would think, wait a minute, you passed me up for Jed, and because of the news that you heard about Jed
right
from People magazine, now you're thinking you want to date me. If I was him, I'd be like, I'm not going to be second best here.
Like, I'm not going to go
backwards.
backwards.
After what she's done. I mean, she clearly told me that I'm not the one.
That's right.
Would you, anyone watching there, would you, if you're a guy?
Yeah.
I'm not the one. I really want to go for Jed.
And,
would you, as the guy, want?
And I think Hannah should have just said, I made a mistake, and I want to apologize to you because you were a much better man than that. I would have left it right there. I would have stopped, and then I might have said, as time permits, I'd love for us to get together sometimes for some coffee.
Yeah.
Very casual. And then I'd have picked up my phone and I'd have called Pilot Pete. And
I would have called Pilot Pete.
Hello, how you doing, baby? I'm so sorry. Would you like to go out?
Yeah, but I don't know if Pilot Pete would really take her back because he already mentioned, right? They had that whole talk on the couch, Pilot Pete and her, as to when the turning point was.
Right.
And it was the morning after the incident in the windmill where they did it 4 times, right? I don't know if he would. I think he got his closure from her. And she already made it quite honest and upfront to him that he wasn't the one. She knew.
Well, she said that he wasn't the one because he didn't share his feelings. He was holding back. He was in reserve. So she felt like the other relationships were moving faster. And what she didn't know, apparently, is off camera with her, he was saying, I love her.
Yeah,
and I can't wait till the day I'm able to tell her that I love her.
And I think for him to do that, that's being authentic. Because he wants to wait until he actually has that feeling and he can say that. Because he doesn't want to say it just because that's something that should be said.
And don't you think it's also really cute, since we're talking about parents and children, that her mom and dad had concerns about Jed.
Yeah, they had concerns about Jed.
The father was like, I work 12, 14 hours a day to make sure that you and the family is taken care of. And all I want is for whoever is going to be with you to make you a priority. And, I think she just got caught up in the possibility of the glam of a musician.
Right. I don't know. Some people, they want to give people a second chance and think, well, he can make something of himself, and that's great. But coming from parents, you really want someone who can support your child financially, and when you one day have kids, be able to support the kids. And he was saying, it was so funny, Jed was saying, I've got my first big break. And he was saying, I'm writing a jingle for this dog commercial. Jingle, a dog jingle. Yeah. And I thought that was funny.
And I think that's when my girlfriend, she said that when Jed was talking to the father, I think he told him about the jingle. And she said the look on the dad's face was like, oh my God, you can't be the one.
He said, that's my big break. I now have a jingle I've written for a dog commercial. I was laughing. I mean, it's not funny, but it is funny in a way.
You have to baby step. I mean, we know lots of people. I love me some Tyler Perry because of Medea. I love Medea, but I love Tyler too. And Tyler Perry used to live in his car. He used to sell his the plays. He would, I guess, I wouldn't say mass produce them, but he would do a play and he would film it, and then he would make copies of it and he would sell them out of his car. So I know when you have that inert drive, you will do things. However, Tyler wasn't out there trying to marry somebody and say, come get in the car with me while I go out and do this, And I think that's where the dad was coming from. It's like, I don't have a problem with you having a passion or a desire. I just want to know that you're going to take care of my child.
Especially as a parent coming from, you have kids, I have a son.
Yes.
I would be, if I had a daughter and, I mean, it's kind of weird with 2020, you want people to be independent. Women can take care of, yes, they can.
Right.
But still, I would want the guy to at least, what is he?
Yeah, what does he bring to the table?
for the future, looking after the
Yeah.
wife and the kids in the
Yes.
future.
I know some amazing men who are like, I guess you could call them like, instead of housewife, house husband, where like say their wife is a lawyer, and they'll be like, I don't want my children before they can talk going to a daycare. Now once they can come home and say, mommy, they hit me, mommy, they touched me, that's fine. In the early ages, and they'll say, I've got a prominent career, so why don't you stay home and take care of the baby? And then after time, it may involve to where the dad does full-time work, or the dad may do part-time work and still is there for the child. So, and I know some men that are great cooks and they can clean a house better than a woman. So, this is the new generation, and the goal is to evolve to the point where we can lift up our talents and skills instead of narrowing and putting people in little boxes.
So we don't want anyone watching us getting mad with us because we said that this and that about Jed, and why not let him have his passion? What's wrong with him?
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with that. So
Yes.
we don't want you to think that we're against people having
No.
passions. We're all for it, but I can understand where the dad is coming from.
Yeah.
So I fully understand that.
Yeah, he just wanted someone to be there for his child.
Yeah.
So, as always, it has been a pleasure talking to you all. We got an opportunity to share some really, really wonderful things. So, in closing,
Thank you for tuning in again, and don't forget to comment and give your feedback below, and we'd love for you to just subscribe and
yes,
hit that bell button so you can get notifications
Yes.
whenever we have our chats uploaded.
yes,
So thanks for tuning in,
Yes.
and remember
to
to always keep smiling. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Toodoo.